Hey, welcome back to TypeScript 8. Today we'll be covering Hygen, that is a code generator, and along with that I'll be also covering Plop and VS Code Snippets that we'll be using in an enterprise level professional project here along with you. So we can start. So here I'll be creating a new app. So you can use this command npx create next app at the latest. So this is my app name, my hybrid app. Okay, as you can see in the terminal below. So this will so it is asking me, would you like to use TypeScript in my project? Yes, of course. Yeah, would you like to use ESLint? Yes, linting we want. Tailwind CSS not required in this example. Yeah, I want my code in the src directory. Sure. App router I want because it is the thing which is since Next.js 12 version onwards. Turbo pack, yeah, I need. Import classes at the rate, yeah. Would you like to be configured alias? Yes. In this case, just click enter. Okay. So here I have my project generated as my hybrid app. As you can see the structure, it's just creating now. It is not yet completed. So what I'll do, I'll also show you by running this app once, so we can check whether this is working or not before continuing further to our code generators and using the code snippets. It's taking them some time to create. So yeah, you can see it created and we have got a success message here. So I'll be going into my directory for this project, my hybrid app. Okay, so now I'm inside the my hybrid app. So from here I'll run this project npm dev run dev. This is what. So just for the sake we want to see it running fine. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now you can see the app I just built using that boilerplate code is working fine, and now we can proceed further. Okay, I'm closing it here. Yeah. So first we'll start with JavaScript code snippets. Okay, so for that we need to open our command palette. This is the shortcut I used, Ctrl+Shift+P, and then configure snippets here. So already, because I had already made JavaScript.json, JavaScript React.json, so it is showing me here. Those who have not made it before, they can use this new global snippet file also. Okay, so I'll be using this one only. Here I already have my existing snippet, which I'll show you. Some new ones also I will add here. Okay, maybe I added already. Yeah. So I'll show you how to add. So if already you have some snippets, you can add. So here like this, first of all I'll show, this is the one which is a very basic snippet I have. This is the arrow function snippet. This snippet is available in various VS Code extensions also. So if you are using those extensions, yeah, so you'll be having that also. Like here one snippet, if you write snippet, these kind of snippets. Okay, so here also you will get, so these kind of small things, those extensions are covering. So for that I don't think so you need to use that, because this one I never use, because already the extensions that I have are using are having all this, and also regarding for loop and what's there which I want to show you now. The one that I make, like, yeah, this one for the CRUD operations in component. So what this will do, this is CRUD comp, this is a prefix, okay, for this code snippet, and this is the body. So I'll explain how this is working and what exactly you need to do. Okay, and yeah, but I want to cover one basic scenario here before covering this, like this one. Yeah, I just showed the hook. Suppose you want to create a hook, and for that you are using this code snippet. So there are people who don't know what is going on with the one state, two state, three initial here, right? So let me first go step by step with the small snippet, then we'll be moving on to the bigger ones, and I'll be explaining each and every part of the code also here. and so stay with me, and we are continuing with this. Okay, suppose you have this file with you. You have created code snippets in javascript.json or either javascript react.json or somehow, but you want to use that. Now how you will do that? First of all, for that what I'll do is to show you here, because it will not work. First of all, this is javascript.json file, so any snippet which I create here won't work in TypeScript files. Make sure, so don't try to run in tsx files or .ts files, so it will not run. Okay, test.js, just I will create this to showcase how this will work. So as you can see, CRUD comp was my prefix in this. So if I just write CRUD comp here, write like this. Okay, now I just press tab and it generated for me the structure. And here component name, suppose if anything I will use, so it will be followed across the code snippet which I just generated here. Suppose my component name is hs hook, as you can see, so the hook name is followed across. Okay, so this way you can also create yours. I'm just showing you in a separate file so that there will not be any confusion, because otherwise you may not be able to get it right, and I'll be explaining this one by one, so how and what is going on in this file. And let's move on to this. So here the prefix what we are using is the USF to trigger it actually, and we have the body code inserted here. So here let's break it down. So the first thing I have in the line number 4, where I have declared a constant, and then I have state and set state, and then I have hook, that is use state, and where I'm initializing it. Okay, so this is called array destructuring in JavaScript. On the left hand side you can see we have a state variable state, okay, in the scare braces, and a function to update it, which is set state. So on the right hand side we have, as I told, it is a hook use state with the initial parameter that initializes the state with whatever the value you pass in. Okay, yeah, and also I can change the state to something like count while I'm using it for my own code, and I can change the set state to set count, and initialize to either 0 or just like blank array literal only, or empty array literal, or you can say, or this or I can also initialize like this with the yeah, like this one with empty string. Okay, empty string or empty array literal, or I can replace it with whatever, or 0 I can replace it with, yeah. Okay, so this thing I'll be covering in the next example, rest of the things, because that example I'll be using for Hygen also. So because here I want to first cover the another code snippet which I had shown to you, right? Let's move on to that snippet first. What was the name of that snippet? I want to see. USF. Okay, so we'll be writing USF, then entering space. Here it is. Yeah, this is also similar. Now you know what exactly is going on, because already I have explained. Now I'll be explaining how this code snippet is working. All right, so here one thing I want to show you before, again once more I will type this snippet USF. You will notice here some things. Okay, first my tab went to the state 1. Here I'll write 1, here I'll write 2, here I'll write 3. Now corresponding to this I'll show you. I'm doing actually a reverse engineering here, so I thought actually I should tell you in this usage first, then I will show you what exactly was that. Now you got that idea regarding the 1 2 3. If I'm repeating the tab click, so one by one I am giving it a sequential order, 1 2 and 3. If you see here in this example, okay, this one USF, yeah, I have a statement here which says constant, then 1 as state, set 2 as state, then 3 as initial. So what exactly is going on here? What exactly this is called? These are called tab stops. When you trigger the snippet, your cursor will appear at the first state for you to type a variable name. Then again you press tab, the cursor moves to second state, the function name. Then if you press tab again, the cursor goes to third initials where you have to enter initial value there, right? Okay. And now if you see this thing, same you have, now you will be getting what exactly was there, which I initially shown you the usage first, then I shown you how this works. And next, now we are moving to the Hygen part, how we'll be generating code using Hygen, what exactly are the templates, and much more things I'll be covering here, explaining you all in depth, plus with the step-by-step code. And this also will be covering there what is there in this CRUD component, because CRUD components are same across, where we'll be using these kind of generators to generate not only the components, but we can generate hooks also, we can generate APIs also. I'll show you with examples not only in React, but I'll be showing it in JavaScript also. And I'll showing you the provision which I had made. If you want to use it for TypeScript, you can change just the part. I'll come to that. Okay. So I think let me explain you first with this code snippet which we created in the JavaScript .json. So the prefix is CRUD comp, like this I named it as a component used for CRUD operations. Okay. So here what is going on here, we just type CRUD comp and then we hit the tab and it instantly gets all the boilerplate code. You need to start building a CRUD UI. Okay. So initially if I use it, I'll again show you once more to go through the code how it's working. So the first statement here which brings in React plus two essential React hooks is the use state, which I already explained. Then coming on to the use state is for managing component state. Think like variables that trigger re-rendering. Remember in the Ajax what we were using earlier, think like that. So when we want to partially render something, right, and now here it is not only partially rendering, it is re-rendering, that kind of scenario, like that you can correlate. Then coming to use effect function. So what it is doing, it is for running side effects like fetching data while from an API. Okay. And the API may be doing some other function also. Then coming down to the fetch items here, for which we are using async and await with the promises. And here what is going on, it is setting up a new functional component, and here we'll be using this code snippet in our code. And then what it will do, when you trigger the snippet, the VS Code will let you type your desired component name here, and it will update everything else in the snippet too based on this, like we already seen now. I think with that you have got a good idea. And then coming down to our fetch items regarding this thing, yeah, it defines a synchronous function that in real app would fetch data from an API. Okay. So what exactly is going on here, it uses promise.resolve, which is acting as a placeholder for fetch data, so you can replace it with your actual fetch logic later. Okay. So once you will implement this, then you can change the according to your real-time scenario. Okay. So once data is available, it calls set items. In the last in the 12th line, it calls the set item, and once data is available to update the state. Then in the return we are having div start and div end in the JSX returning from the component. So right now it is just displaying a header. Just for the sake we are showing it as a test thing. So in real app you will be expanding this to show your items, forms, CRUD operations, or whatever you can have, or some blog articles or something similar to these things related to your functionality. Okay, then we are exporting this default thing. So this exports your component so it can be used elsewhere. So this is common across all the places, so need no introduction. But now let's move on to Hygen here. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm increasing this terminal size so you can easily see what's going on here. So this is my command npm install save dev Hygen. So you can use this command, you can save it somewhere, because it will be used when you will have to create a Hygen templates. Okay. So here you will get a templates folder. Did it work? And yeah. But to get the template folder we need to initialize it also, or else if we are not initializing it using the command, we have to manually create a folder here. So to initialize it, I'll be using again one more command here to do that. It's npm hygen in itself, but it won't be sufficient for our example because we will not be using I thought of not using it because it's very generic or simple hello world example like this, so there is no point of explaining. There is nothing to explain here also, right? So even if I generate using this file, it will be a simple hello world thing, which I don't think so. That is my prime motive of this channel. This is related to some enterprise professional code all the times what I'm showing. So here I'll not be using this example. Instead I'll be creating here my own React directory in which I'll be putting my own templates to show the code generation so that it can be helpful to you also. So either you can make the directly manually here by right clicking, or else you can run this command make direct mkdir make directory for this underscore templates react and CRUD. So what it will do under under this directory underscore templates, it will create another directory with the name of react, and then inside that there will be a CRUD folder. This is how it will be. I'll just show you. I now executed that command, so here it clicked the react. So now what we'll do here, we'll create a file inside this one. Yeah, create a file. So EJs, how many of you know the EJs? What is like the EJS or whatever? EJS is a templating language, I tell you. So we have HBs will come in prop. Okay, so EJs are here in Hygen. EJS is a template. So for the templating language, so this extension is used, and here this is my template. Here I'll explain step by step what exactly is this. JS can be TS also. You can replace this for TS code. Okay, so I'm giving you a hint. So you can use the same for generating the TypeScript code also using this by changing this extension from .js to TS. So here what exactly is going on? Note the template front matter. This is actually the front matter. This 3 hyphens, then within that something is written, then these 3 hyphens. So at top this is required, and the to path controls the file output location, right? So what this template is doing, so at the top you can see the special blocks which already explained. These are called the front matter, already told I think. So it tells Hygen where to generate the file and what to name it. So when I run this file, what it will do, I can run this file using npx command with the Hygen keyword, and then using my directory name react, and inside the directory CRUD, both names I will mention. Then with 2 hyphens I will use name, then the exact name which I wanted. Like I want to create a user table, so I will give it a user table. I want to create a user account thing, so I'll give it a user account name. And suppose I want some blog article, then I will write blog article there. I'll show you how I will be doing this, and what exactly happen in Hygen is Hygen replaces this Angular braces name, this one in the second line with the user table, so that the file generated as what exactly the name you given, and across this template it will be followed in the generated file, and the component will be called with the name, the one which you had given while creating that. So make sure your naming conventions should be as per according to the functionality what you want. Okay, so I'll be showing you here how based on this template I'll be creating. Okay, so this is my command npx hygen, as I told you. So the name I'm giving is user table here. Yeah, okay, it created. See here it is showing added source to the source components and with the name usertable.js. So we'll see where it created. Here under the source I'm checking now in my project structure. As you can see in the components it has created usertable.js. Yeah, here it is. You can see it has given me the generated code for the CRUD component which I required, and here are all the handles. This is a create, this is update, this is delete. So I'm giving you outlook first, then we'll discuss in detail. I'll explain you step by step what exactly is going on. This is for those who are new to this or who are beginners, because I thought from my initial 3 videos that after my 3 videos that I will be covering also some of the aspects which beginner also require, so that this will be useful to everybody. Okay, so have you noticed one thing? There are some things which are similar here. This is similar to the code snippet that we covered. So same here also the same things are happening, like declaring with item set items function and then using a hook that is for use state. And here I'm declaring a state variable called items, and its initial value is an array with one object with id 1 and name item 1 here. This, yeah. And set items is a function that lets you update this items array, triggering as re-render if you do. If you remember, just in the beginning I had explained regarding the set items also, so I'm re-explaining all the things. Actually there I thought I will not cover, but I thought okay, in the video I'll again repeat the same thing. Maybe it will give a more clarity, because while I'll be thinking I'll be adding more to it, I don't know, maybe the first time when I spoken something, maybe I had not covered some of the things. So I thought in both the examples I'll explain the same thing. It may vary, some variation may come in which you will be getting some more good explanation or something will change. Okay, let me speak and then we'll see what again I'm declaring a constant, and then I'm declaring a state variable called new name. Okay, its initial value is an empty string, as you can see right in the bracket. Yeah, here this is empty string. So set what the set new name is doing, it updates the value again, causing React to re-render. If you do the same re-rendering in set items, now set new name, both are doing the same thing. So this is a classic React state. Actually it keeps the UI and data in sync, so this is for what it is being used. And these are the CRUD handles. Now we can go through each CRUD handle and explain so what it is doing. So this one, create new handle, it adds a new item where the add button is, when the add button is clicked. Okay, so it uses the spread operator again. Now see, spread operator is coming into action. If you have seen my first video, I had explained regarding the spread operator. If you don't know, you can refer to that video also, or if you know, you can continue with this. So same way this update handle is there, so that lets you edit the item name with the simple prompt. This prompt I'm using for demo. Okay, so this prompt where it says edit the item name, so this is for demo. This will not be in the production code, or not be used, it's not in use in professional enterprise grade applications. So make sure you replace it when you are using it. And then we are using the map here. Map will be used when we are updating it. Okay, remember this thing. I'm telling remember this thing because this thing for beginner point only. Maybe I'm giving some extra details to it, but I want to cover it all along, so that who all are seeing this video must be comfortable with exactly the readability of the code, how it is, even though they may belong to some other technology. They may be some .NET developers, or they may be Java developers, or they may not be at all into web technologies. So it is for them also. So I'll be pitching not only for the enterprise level senior developers only, it will be across those who are into software development in any technologies, whether or not they are knowing React. Because the way I think I'll explain, this will make you to remove that resistance, and it will make you to embrace new things. Yeah, okay. So we use the filter for delete. If in the delete handler you will see filter, you will not see the map thing. Okay, so basic pattern, it shows how the CRUD handlers I had implemented here. So in the real life you would call your API here, but for now I'm keeping it easy for your test and understanding. Okay, and then this return part, where you will always see in the return we are returning JSX as a UI. They are inputs for the new name, as you can see. So new item, new name, user can add using a button to add the item, and then list of items it will show based on the ID. Okay, because that is the key add here. So, and I had given delete button also here because it is required to complete all the CRUD operations. So the UI is minimal but functional. We could easily add styles, whatever we want. The power is that this pattern is the same for every feature: state, CRUD handlers, list rendering. That's why we automate it. Actually, that is the reason we are automating it. Okay, so now let's cover Plop. Okay, are you ready to see the Plop also? Okay, let me go through that. And for installing this Plop, I have this command ready with me. npm install savedev plop. Okay, so now we are installing plop related libraries here. So please ignore these some warnings which are coming here in the npm regarding this CLI version, because I already told you in my first video also, I'm using the older version of Node because of my existing application, the production app which I'm running on from my system. We have created all the required dependencies for the plop now. What we need to do, so in this case it is a bit different, that was a templating thing. If you see, this is code first thing actually. So with this there are no such templates which we can create, but definitely we can create template here. It is not like that. We can create a directory with the name plop templates, and then all the templates will be clubbed in that. Okay, it depends how you want to use it, but one thing that we want to use it is the plop file here. Let's create the plop file first. Plop file. Okay, so this is the JS file for plop.js. Here is my generator code. So set generator feature. So this feature, what exactly this feature, why I can write anything here. This is not related to code. This is a naming thing of the name of the generator. So once you will run this, it will be the name feature which I'll be using in the plop to ask for the generation of the code. So here I'll also explain what exactly is going on here. And notice this path fields. Actually what HBs are, these are all the handlebars. So it uses the handlebar helpers like the Pascal case name to format your code professionally, and all new files land in the right folders with the right names every time. We'll be using it to generate. Okay, so before proceeding, I want to just do a sanity check ensuring that we have the templates. Okay, so I have not yet created the templates. So before let's create those templates quickly here. Okay, we can name it plop templates. Okay, plops. Then what we can have in there is CRUD components, custom hook, service. So for all these three actually we'll make it for today's showcasing. All right, so here this is my first thing, CRUD component. So we extension, as I told you, handlebars. Okay, HBs. Yeah, and what I have, my hook. Similarly, CRUD hook. The name will be CRUD hook dot HBs. My keyword is new, CRUD hook. Then we want to have CRUD service. Yeah, so similarly we can create service HBs here. Okay, so now three things we'll be having. So to showcase you in a professional way how it will be, so you can see now literally blank, nothing is there. So I'll be putting some templated code here. Okay, so this is the one for CRUD operations. As you can see here, yeah, it is complete. Yeah, I did delete all is there. Then we are exporting the name and what clicks are there. Okay, fine. Then we'll move on. We'll save this. This we want to sanity check before doing anything, so that once we have what all the code, it should be there, because without this it will not generate. So don't think it will do some magic. So it will be generating based on your template files only. So if your code is not up to the mark, then you won't be getting your proper generated code. Okay, so here is for the hooks, and here for the APIs I'll be putting some of my templates which I have. Okay, yeah, this is for my service. You can see async service I had made for all are the async services here with promise, and conditions are also there if we are using it for TypeScript or JavaScript, that also I included. Okay, yeah, so let's use this one. So how, and we'll be using which npx command to use here. Okay, npx plop feature. Remember the feature I told you, that name I had given. So same with that same name, calling this template files. So this prompt has to ask me which template file to run to generate code, or it can ask me for generating all the codes based on the all existing files. So here what you need to choose, using the arrow keys you can traverse which one you want to use, either the CRUD components, either or the custom hooks or the services. So these three things correspond to my 3 HBs, 3 handlebars which I created using the CRUD components, this one, or using the hooks, custom hook for the service. Here it is showing the service. So if I use the here, okay, I selected. If I want to use this one, spacebar I'm using to select. Okay, make sure you have to select at least one or all in order to run this, or else it will not work. If you are not selecting it, if you are keeping it like this, you may be thinking that if I click enter and it will work, it won't work. Okay, so here what is the feature name? Okay, I can give some name as camel casing. It will automatically do. I need not to do, but I'm user count test. Okay, yeah, TypeScript, yeah. What? Something went wrong here, na? What is that? ENOENT, that means they didn't find the directory actually. No ENT, okay. So this is saying no such file or directory exists. The Plop, why? Because see, in my Plop file the name is different. The name is custom hook. But here, as you can see in the Plop template, I had given CRUD hook. While talking, I had missed out this thing. So see, in this Plop file I had mentioned custom hook HBs. My handlebar name is different, so I can rename this custom hook and similar. Okay, this is my custom hook, fine. So this I need to change it to. Now the first one, let me again once more check my Plop file, what I had mentioned in this CRUD component, that is fine. And for this thing, custom hook.hbs, this is also fine. And third one is service.hbs. Here again I had mentioned wrong. Okay, custom hbs. Again I need to rename this. So you must keep the same name. Service.hbs. Okay, now in the terminal, okay, I'm again running the same command for features. Yeah, I'll be selecting with the spacebar all three features and name. Actually here what I did, it generated the first file because the name was correct. So what I am doing is I'm deleting this test. And the TypeScript, yes, it created all the three. You can see here in the terminal it is showing it has created the directories, components, user under the source. Okay, under the source, here is my components. Under the components is my blog art test, and here is my code which it generated. Similar is the case for hooks. Here is the code for my hooks, and for services, here is the generated code for my services. Yeah, with all the async, promise and all for create, update, delete test service with the name of blog art test service, same which we are using. Okay. So what the good point about this is, every CRUD component follow the same tested bug-free pattern. Okay, and you can extend the template, add API calls like I had shown you, add prop types also, whatever your team standard is based on your project. Okay, and if you need to change your style or update logic, then you fix in one template just like that. You need not to change the 100 files. Or I had covered all three things here: JavaScript snippets, means the custom code snippets in the form of JavaScript snippets, and Hygen Plop. So in this my aim was to showcase the functionality plus to show you how the project structure, the final project structure after you are using this generators, how the source directory it will create. It is based on what inputs you are giving in the path, as I shown to you the path, and in the plop file, see the path here. If you give some other location, it will generate the files there. So if in case you have any doubt or anything else you want, or in addition to this you want something I should show to you, just let me know in the comments. I'll be putting up those also. And all this code which I had generated in front of you just now, what all I had shown, I'll be keeping this in the Git repo, which I'll be sharing to you with the link, which you can use to clone the repo, or you can test it at your system, or you can use this, or you can enhance this further for your own use or for your team use. And also, if you feel like I should be covering this kind of generators in other technologies like .NET, or especially in some other JavaScript libraries or frameworks which I had not covered, like Angular, just let me know, just drop me a comment. I'll be covering those also in the upcoming video. So till then, but don't forget to subscribe and like my videos, so it will give me a great push. But don't forget to subscribe, like my channel, and especially the videos. And let me know in the comments if you have any doubt, or let me know in the comments if you want some new topics to be covered, some new technologies to be covered. Just drop in the comments, and I'll make on that also. Now you can generate CRUD, React, Next.js code like Enterprise Pro in JS or in TypeScript, or with both Hygen and Prop, and understand how and when to use Visual Studio Code Snippet also. So now with all this, you can generate CRUD operations, hooks, services, APIs using Next or React.js, and you can also code like an Enterprise Pro in JavaScript technologies or in TypeScript technologies with both Hygen and Plop. And also you are understanding how and when to use VS Code snippets also. Okay, so bye bye.